Hello and welcome to Weekly Zen, the first installment ever. It's a very exciting moment, and today we're actually on a beautiful beach in Santa Barbara, California. It's actually Goleta, California, right next to Isla Vista off the campus of UC Santa Barbara. And this is one of my favorite places to go. It's just so beautiful and serene. I'm very lucky to live so close to it. And the purpose of this video, every week we're going to be discussing things to help you kind of relax and decompress from the long week. You know, we all fight for our sanity as we try to make it through the week. And if someone could give us a few helps and hints on things that could help relieve some stress and anxiety, then please, by all means, right? So that's the purpose of this. So today we're going to talk about meditation for the first thing. So, okay, yeah, meditation, we've all heard about it. But a lot of people are intimidated by meditation, and it's actually a very simple thing. You don't need, you know, a special lotus position. You don't need to chant anything. All you need to do, you could do this sitting on your bed with your back against the wall. You can do it sitting in the car at a lunch break. You just find a quiet place where you can sit, relax, and just clear everything in your mind. If a thought comes into your mind, just notice it. Don't, you know, be mad at yourself, but then just kind of push it out and try to stay empty. Find some instrumental music, your favorite music. Well, not your favorite music, but something that's serene, an instrumental track. And if you meditate just 10 minutes a day, it will have an amazing effect on both your stress levels. It'll reduce your stress, help with anxiety, kind of go hand in hand. Boost your mood. You'll have better mental clarity. You'll be able to remember things better, and you'll be amazed at other things that seem to happen with your life. It's almost like you become more in tune with the universe, and it responds back in kind. But we won't go too far into the nether regions of meditation and metaphysical stuff. But it is an extremely important thing that doesn't really take any time. Like I said, even if you have just a 10-minute lunch break, go jump out in your car, put in your headphones, and just zone out, clear your mind for 10 minutes, and don't let anything in. And I'm going to read a little quote from a guy named Osho to kind of give you an idea of what you should be doing. And he says a few things about it, meditation. He says, "I'm simply saying that there is a way to be sane. I'm saying that you can get rid of all of this insanity created by the past in you just by being a simple witness of your thought processes. It is simply sitting silently, witnessing the thoughts passing before you. Just witnessing, not interfering, not even judging. Because the moment you judge, you have lost the pure witness. The moment you say, this is good, this is bad, you have already jumped into a thought process, and it ruins the witness. It takes a little time to create a gap between the witness and the mind. Once the gap is there, you are in for a great surprise. You are not the mind, but you are the witness, a watcher. And this process of watching is the very alchemy of real religion, because as you become more and more deeply rooted in witnessing, thoughts start disappearing. You are, but the mind is utterly empty. And that is the moment of enlightenment. That is the moment that you become, for the first time, an unconditioned, sane, really free human being. So meditate 10 times a day and you will become an enlightened being. No stress, no nothing, except pure bliss. I'm not saying that's going to happen overnight, but I am saying that you'll be surprised at just what 10 minutes a day will do. So give it a shot. Now I'm going to introduce this product that works extremely well. It's an acupressure mat, and there's different brands that are available. They're only about 30 bucks. I got mine on Amazon. I buy everything on Amazon. And This one is called a Hemingway, and it has these little circular discs, and there's almost 30 little plastic pinpoints on each little disc. And this is the pillow that you lay back on. And I'll demonstrate this in the sand here in a little bit. Now you need to take off your shirt. I'm not gonna take off my shirt or anything to demonstrate this, but you won't be able to feel the pressure if you don't take your shirt off. Even a thin shirt really reduces the effect. So here we have the remarkable Hemingway Acupressure Mat, and let me demonstrate it for you. So you just lay, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory, but I want to explain a few things. So you just lay back like this. This really, the pillow helps a lot with relieving tension in the neck. Even right now, it just feels really good. But I'll even use it, I will like put it around my head, smash it against my head basically, because the pinpoints increase the circulation and just releases so much tension. It feels amazing. So use it wherever. The first little bit, it'll feel uncomfortable, endure the pain, and then the blood starts circulating and release endorphins, and you feel really good and warm. And when you get up, you look at your back and the bottom of your butt, if you get that part on the mat, and it looks dimpled like a golf ball. I don't use this every day. I use it maybe once or twice a week. I'm not, I guess, if you're more masochistic, you enjoy pain, you might like it more, but I only use it on special occasions when I'm ready to endure the pain and it's worth the sacrifice. It's really not that bad, especially if you have tight muscles and you go to bed feeling like you just have, you know, too tense. This makes you sleep like a rock. So check out acupressure mats. This Hemingway is a decent enough model. There's other ones like Zen-Style and all kinds of weird names, but the generic item is called a acupressure mat. I think this works really well. It's a good little component to add into your stress relieving arsenal, and I would highly recommend that. Before we go, I'm going to leave with you some kind of food for thought, some quotes, little inspiration to think about for the week. And you know, it's all about your perspective and how you approach life, and sometimes those things are easier said than done, but we have to train our minds to think a certain way, and if we keep at it, eventually it will just become second nature, but yet we have to work at it. So let me share with you some quotes that I found that I think are really good, and I think will help your perspective. So letting go. Letting go is the lesson. Letting go is always the lesson. Have you ever noticed how much of our agony is all tied up with craving and loss? And that's from Susan Gordon Lydon from the Knitting Sutra, Craft as a Spiritual Practice. And it's true. We hold on to things, and it's the things that we either want so badly, or we are afraid of losing, or what we already have lost. And not letting go of those creates so much tension and agony that we don't need. It's baggage. So try to release those things and let the weight fall. Another quote from the Treatise of the Transcendent Master from Nan-Hua says, "Flow with whatever may happen, and let your mind be free. Stay centered by accepting whatever you are doing. This is the ultimate." So it's kind of like the Lord's Prayer, the Serenity Prayer. You know, Some things you can't change, and when that's the case, you just go with the flow. And if you try to be this resistant rock, you know, say the ocean waves, you know, the waves are going to beat against you, and it's gonna be difficult, and you're not going to get anywhere. So sprout legs like a crab and crawl across the beach to your next beautiful destination. Here's a quote from Bruce Lee from the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. And it says, not being tense but ready, not thinking but not dreaming, not being set but flexible. Liberation from the uneasy sense of confinement. It is being wholly and quietly alive, aware and alert, ready for whatever may come. So a lot of masters in various subjects, or in particular people who have mastered an instrument like pianists, they'll talk about once they've mastered their craft, there's a relaxed focus. When they have become masters, they know the material so well, and they have the muscle memory, and they are able to do things very rapidly because they have the focus, but they aren't so tense that it clams them up. So think of approaching life with a relaxed focus and finding that balance between those two worlds. And this one is cool. It's from Michael Ende. You've probably never heard of his name, but he is the author of a little movie, a book that was made into a movie called The Never-Ending Story. It's one of my favorite childhood movies. It was filmed in 1984. It includes Falgor, a luck dragon, Atreyu, a princess, and Bastian, of course, the little boy who reads this book. And anyways, great story, great movie. This is from a different one of his books, and it really sums up the way that you should approach life really well. And he says, it's like this. Sometimes when you've a very long street ahead of you, you think how terribly long it is and feel sure you'll never get it swept. And then you start to hurry. You work faster and faster, and every time you look up, there seems to be just as much left to sweep as before. And you try harder, and then you panic, and then in the end you're out of breath and have to stop, and still the street stretches away in front of you. That's not the way to do it. You must never think of the whole street at once, understand? You must only concentrate on the next step, the next breath, the next stroke of the broom, and the next, and the next. Nothing else. That way you enjoy your work, which is important, because then you make a good job of it, and that's how it ought to be. And all at once, before you know it, you've found that you've swept the entire street clean, bit by bit. And what's more, you aren't out of breath. That's important too. So whenever you get ahead of yourself, don't get too ahead of yourself. Don't think about, know what you need to accomplish. But once you know what you need to accomplish, just do the very next step that needs to be accomplished, and don't think too far ahead. And that way, you're going to save a lot of brain power to actually focus on the task at hand. And I know it's easier said than done. That will conclude this week's weekly Zen, and I hope these tips were helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. And this is going to be an ongoing thing, weekly Zen, but we're going to bring you a lot of good information, and I'm excited to share with you certain things that has helped me, helped family members, friends, and people that I've worked with. And so, you know, make sure once a week you're getting out in nature like this. This is kind of helps you give an example of what you should be experiencing, and maybe me filming this helps bring a little bit of it to you. But join us every week. Don't go insane. Make this week a good one, and hope to see you next week. We're all over the internet, whatever social media channel you participate in, we're there. We're social media whores. So follow us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, We have Pinterest boards with lots of good stuff, especially home remedies, and those seem to be pretty hot. So until next time, have some Zen in your life, don't work too hard, and don't let life pass you by. See you next week.